Play everything now! What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show, my people. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and that notification bell so you don't miss a video if you are new to the channel. Infamous Second Son. But before I get into this, I want to talk about older games briefly. Older games, they have charm, they have character, and sometimes they get left in the wayside due to the fascination with graphics and no substance. And this is the age that we're in. For the most part, we have games with graphics and they have no substance and they're not even fun. So lately I've been playing a lot of old games on the channel, or games that I've been playing in private, which I'll be posting to the channel in the coming weeks and talking about them. And one of these games is Infamous Second Son. And sometimes when you go back to old games, you realize that these games are really good and you appreciate them more upon playing new games. And you're like, man, I want to go back to the old days. I know a lot of you want to go back to the old days when games were actually fun to play and companies took risks. Although Infamous didn't take any risks, well, you can say they did take a risk with this series because they didn't go with name characters in Marvel or DC. They pretty much made their own superhero, superhuman story. And this story revolves around regular people who found out that they had abilities that make them different from other people. Such characters in Infamous Second Son, the main protagonist, Delsin, then you have Fetch, Augustine, and Eugene. And these characters are considered conduits. These people have the ability to draw power from others and make them their own. One that has a power originally, they would be considered the source. So to talk about this without ruining the story for anyone that hasn't played this game, Delsin and his brother Reggie, they come upon a bus accident carrying conduits. But at the time, they didn't know that. And one of the conduits got in a little tussle with Reggie. You know, Reggie's a police officer doing way too much. He attempts to restrain the conduit, and he doesn't, and Delsin manages to touch him, and he receives the power by accident unknowingly from that conduit that was in that bus accident, which was actually a so-called bio, we can't say the word on YouTube, but he was a threat, and he escaped. So Delsin usurps the power, and he chases the conduit back to his village, and eventually the conduit gets away from him. Now, because this conduit escaped, he was on the run. Augustine, who runs the DUP, the Department of Unified Protection, so she says, comes to that location, comes to the village and questions Delsin about what's going on. Knowingly that she doesn't know that Delsin now acquires the powers, but she's very skeptical on how did he survive an encounter with a conduit, so her red flags are going up. And at this point in the story, you have a choice whether you're going to, say what really happened, or you're going to hide it to the detriment of your, community, your village. So you have the choice to play bad karma or good karma. Your choice. And then whatever choice you pick there, it's going to dictate the rest of the game on how you're going to go. And in my case, I chose the bad karma. She, caused havoc in the village. Now I want revenge on Augustine. So you're not really a superhero. You're just someone with powers. And it's up to you to do with it as you see fit. And I like the premise. They made their own superhero game without Marvel. And they did a good job. They really did a good job. And the graphics in this game, they're top notch. Even playing in 2023, they are top notch, especially with the HDR treatment that it receives. The lighting in Seattle, the character models are detailed, as well as the city, the fidelity. And it's good considering the action that's going on, because there's a lot of action that's going on the screen. The sound is okay, it gets the job done. And when using your powers, you hear smoke, you hear Neo, concrete in the video sound effects very clearly. And when you lose your health, they use cues and visual cues. The sound gets muted and the screen gets blurry, telling you that, hey, you have a couple more strikes before you're going to get deleted. It's fantastic. And the gameplay in this game, right? That's really what it's all about. It's a superhero, superhuman game. So is it fun, right? Yes, absolutely. The gameplay, you're thrown into a third-person action game where your hands are the firearms, right? And you can glide, you can float, you can do super moves that just makes like destruction across large sections of the area that you're focusing on. The action is frantic, it's smooth, it's satisfying, especially with uncapped frame rates on the PS5 when you're playing it on that system. And the game also runs very good on the Pro. I replayed it on the Pro. And you can do activities such as graffiti, you can do drug busts, you can find undercover DUP agents and all kinds of extra stuff just to keep you, doing different things so things don't get too repetitive. But they do get repetitive because, you're doing that in every section of the city until you open up the boss, rather, or the end fight for that city to get complete control over the city. But those activities, they were cool, but you could tell that they were like fillers. But it, in totality of the whole game and taking in his personality with the graffiti and all of that, it works. So it was very good, and I really enjoyed the game more than the first time that I actually played it. I really did, and that's what you have to do with some of these old games. Sometimes you have to revisit them just to really appreciate it. And I really appreciate what Sucker Punch did with the Infamous series in general. It's excellent. It's a priceless gem, and it's cheap on eBay. You can get it. I think it's undervalued for the price. This should be up there, one of them games where, people are scouring to get. But a lot of people played it because it did, I believe, win a lot of awards when it first was released. Now, you can be bad, you can be good in this game, you can do whatever you want, but I must tell you that being bad, being that anti-hero is absolutely the way to go. It feels like the game was made for you to be bad, and it really pushes you to that, and the dialogue is excellent, man. So if you have not checked out this game, go get this game. If you have checked out this game and you love it as much as I love it, hit the subscribe button and that like button. Leave a comment. Tell me what you liked about it. Even tell me what you didn't like about it. Are you looking forward to another one? I know I am. I would love to see another Infamous 3, but unfortunately, Sucker Punch stated, hopefully they're just lying, but they stated they are not really concerned about making another one, which is a shame because I feel like this is an awesome game, an awesome franchise that they have here, that Sony has. So hopefully someday they change their mind and we get another one. But until then, we do have 4 of them that we can play, and they all are good. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and that notification bell so you don't miss a video. And I'll see you on the next Retrospect video. Peace.